proud members of the Podbelly Podcast Network.
I know you're tired. I know you're hurting. And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational.
You can do it!
But that just wouldn't be our style.
Welcome to Project Reclamation, where you rebuild, re-energize, and reclaim your life.
Bingo bango, wingo wango.
Bongo Chongo?
Bongo Chongo, Tim and Chango. We're back.
Chango, yes.
You have waited 2 weeks to hear these two voices combine, converge, meld into one yet again, and boom bang, here we are.
Like a transformer, Voltron.
Like Captain Planet, where wind, earth, fire.
With their powers combined.
Dirt.
Captain Planet.
Recycling.
He's our hero.
Yeah.
He's going to take pollution down to zero.
Yeah.
Wind, water, go planet!
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet!
Captain Planet, he's our hero. Gonna take pollution down to zero.
Take that, polluters.
Yeah.
Hello, PVC makers. Wapam.
Oh, and he had that awesome flat top, like, what's his name? What's his name? The football dude, the announcer.
Howie Long.
Howie Long.
Yeah. I was like,
he was in
what?
that show or that movie, like fire, something about fire. He
Uh,
was like a firefighter or something. I don't know. I
okay.
never saw it. It doesn't matter.
Backdraft.
Anyways,
I don't even know.
Backdraft. Oh,
knows?
Dude, Billy Baldwin.
He was in the greatest movie of all time. Nicolas Cage in not Con Air. Fuck, what was the one where he was in Alcatraz?
The Rock.
The Rock.
Who was in The Rock?
Howie Long.
Was he really? Who
I
was
think
he?
he's one of the. I think he's one of the police guys. Was
maybe
that
you're
him?
right. I don't know.
I don't know. He seems like
We
he
could
should
look
be.
it up. I mean, we have these, but why bother?
No need.
You know what? Y'all could look it up. while you're
IMD
listening.
Steve.
I
am Tim Steve.
Steve. I am Steve D.
Man, it is good to be back as always. Always, though. Let's just even start off from the very get, because I don't want to even miss this, because they're so gracious to us every single week. They're always hooking us up with prime time spots on their wonderful
I don't know
platform
who you
server.
could possibly be talking about.
You know who I'm talking about? Oink, oink, baby. Podbelly.com. Podbelly.com.
That's right.
Pig out on podcasts?
Pig out on podcast.
Pig out on podcasts, you say? Here's what it is, man. I got to be honest with you. If you want to learn about anything at all, okay, you're political, you all in the politics, you may want to go to a different platform server. You're into this and that and the other thing, man, you might want to go.
I don't even know if we have a political show.
You're into science and stuff like that, you may want to go to another podcast server.
Now, if you want to know politics, go listen to the Podfather himself,
Podfather.
Adam Curry and John C.
Delicious.
Dvorak.
I wonder if he's related to Steph
No
Curry.
agenda. I don't think so.
Okay, just making sure.
They don't exactly resemble each other.
Well, all right. Well, maybe one's got longer hair, I guess.
That's probably-
Either which way, man. Podbelly.com always hooking us up so we can
Yep.
hook you guys up, all of our wonderful 15 listeners. Bing, bang,
I think we're up
bong.
to 16 now.
Hello, 16. I can't wait. I'm really excited. I don't even know how we went viral like this, man. We got 16 hits. We got 16
And
listeners.
to our sponsor,
Oh, yeah.
our major sponsor,
Talk to me.
Yucateco hot sauce.
Dang,
I
bro.
just put some on some chicken pollo asada tacos last night.
Bro, I just saw you put some on your chocolate bar, bro. You put that on everything.
I mean,
dog. But it's good
why
on
not?
everything because honestly, it's all about
Actually, what
kings
you
of-
don't know is this water bottle right here. It's actually full of Triple X.
Wow,
It's just Triple X on ice.
that that's a very very expensive saucy.
Just drinking it.
Well, it does keep it. It does keep it insulated. I guess it does keep it insulated. Man, king of flavor. Honestly, you can put that on anything. Chocolate bars, obviously, any types of food. Anytime you want to step up your sauce game.
I was one time Brent gave me some brownies, just regular brownies, not magic brownies.
Oh, God.
But I put El Yucateco on the brownies. It was actually good. I won't lie. It was a long time ago. Thanks to the brownies, Brett. I think they were from Dagny's, which is a little bakery across the street.
Dagny's Brownies by Brett. Boy, that's a lot of
Yeah,
names.
dude.
I
don't
can't
know,
even
man.
follow that chain.
Anyways, doesn't matter. Go put some El Yucateco on your food. All of your food. Everything.
Glad we
Mexican
can pay
food, Italian food, American food. Put it on your burger.
We done paid the bills already, Tim. Now you're just
Bills are
giving them
paid.
too much.
Well,
now you're giving them
I
too
guess
much.
that's it. I guess we can just wrap this episode, right?
Wrap. That's a wrap.
Here's
Hey, thanks
episode-
guys for listening.
Episode 108. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys have a good
I'll
week.
see you on the flip flop.
Peace out. Now,
Hey, man. Obviously,
What's
we're in
up?
really, really good moods. I got to be very, very honest with you. It has cooled down a lot.
It has, dude.
Probably about by maybe 15, 20
And
degrees.
I was looking, and I mean, this is granted by my house. So, like,
Gotcha.
highs have been like 84, 86,
okay,
something
that's
like
still
that.
pretty high.
I agree. But, dude, the high by Sunday is supposed to be 73. And I was like, hells yeah.
Fall coming early.
Well,
Why
dude,
not?
you know what's funny? Like, by the time Sunday hits, the water is going to be warmer than the air.
Yeah, probably.
The water, I think they'd take the water temperature at the end of the Scripps Pier or something every day for like the last 100 years. It was like 79 degrees the other day.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
I got to get out on the beach.
Yeah, you should teach me how to surf.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to happen.
No, because here's what it is. Yeah, I've taught people how to surf before, and I like the
You don't
process.
want to teach me how to surf, dude.
No. It's just like the process of actually like kind of doing it and getting all the equipment
I'll
down
take a
there.
class
and
or
then
something.
Honestly, like getting all the and then finding a parking spot, and then finding a place where like I don't know, Baywatch isn't like kind of like yelling at you,
It's a
like,
problem.
oh, you got to go down. No,
I feel
the
like
flags.
I feel like the best time to like learn how to surf is probably like in the wintertime when nobody else is at the beach.
Yeah, but it's too dang cold. It's too dang cold. You know?
You know these people?
No, they look like I should know them though. They're of that same age bracket.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, it's my buddy Lucas.
what's he doing here?
Wait, has he got a new car?
No, he's a passenger. Oh, is that her car?
No.
Why is he here?
Dang, my buddy Lucas is here. What's up, Lucas?
Why is he here?
He's here to go and do work. What's up, man? And we're on pause.
We're going to take a brief time out. Go buy yourself some El Yucateco while we pay the bills. Or greet Lucas. One of the two. What's up, buddy?
He's always like, you guys record. Always record.
Lucas is like, you know what? My spidey sense said Tim is at Steve's house. I got to go over there.
Dang, bro. All right.
And we're back.
And we're back. Hey, man, you know what I hate? I hate just dragging out all that equipment, bringing everything down, just kind of settling it all up, man. 'cause
You
it
don't
takes
do
a lot of time.
anything. I do it all.
No.
Oh, you're
no,
talking
but
about surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I hate about this podcast is that I have to lug around all the equipment.
Well,
I have
to
to
be
do
honest
everything.
with you, that's what I'm saying.
And
Sometimes
I have to
I'm a
plan
little
around
lazy.
your schedule. I have to come to your house.
Well, my
I'm
schedule's
starting
pretty
to
open.
really rethink this partnership.
I have no
actually.
wife. I have no kids. You can come over at any time. This is
That's
a perfect
true.
place. You have parking issues. That's what I
do.
hate.
I guess that's the one. That's the one issue is the parking issue. Well, hey,
And
dude.
you're-
After this weekend, there will be no more parking issues.
Why? What's up?
Because Brett's moving
Oh,
out.
Brett's moving out this weekend. Oh, Brett, man, I hate that. I hate that Brett's leaving.
Why?
Well, no, because it's sad.
He's
man.
moving on to be with someone that he actually wants to live with.
and you're gonna have that whole place to yourself.
It's a big place. I mean, I guess it's as big as your place.
Well, yeah, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Are you ready to install your home gym? Because
Yeah.
you're gonna love that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do the one. The office is gonna be like just an office. Actually, maybe the office will be office/gym.
Okay.
Do I do office/gym and then guest bedroom, or do I do full office and
Big
then
boy, ain't
guest bedroom
nobody coming
/ gym?
visiting you. Okay, you don't need no guest bedroom. I've had a guest bedroom for how long?
And nobody's ever visited.
Nobody's ever visited, man. I'm gonna be very honest. On a handful of occasions that people visit, I'm like,
It doesn't
oh,
matter though. I'm
cool.
still gonna have a guest bedroom for nobody to use.
All right.
My parents will use it when they come down and visit.
I forgot that you have parents that come down and visit.
Well, I mean, your parents have a place. Like
They have a place,
block
but they
away.
stay. They used to stay at my place. They used
Yeah.
to stay in this guest bedroom.
Oh,
It was
okay.
fun, man. I'm telling you, it was good times when my parents were here because like all the food would be made, all the laundry would be done. You just come back home and
Well,
like
you never
everything would
know,
be clean.
man. You know,
Oh, this is dope.
Lucas is about to get married. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe you know, someday, like maybe your guest bedroom is better than the couch.
Yeah,
when
maybe.
his wife gets mad at him.
Oh, I gotcha.
Sorry, Lucas. I can erase this part.
Laura's never gonna be mad at Lucas.
Is he a magician? Did he disappear? What the fuck? Bum 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 ba da 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 dun dun. I'm just gonna start calling him Gandalf. Or Harry Potter.
Oh man. All right. Well, anyways, I gotta be honest with you. There's a few things I love. There's a lot of things that I'm. Gosh darn it! I feel like there's so much hate out in the world, but at the same time, there's some things that bother me. And
I hate you.
Okay, but I understand the opposite of that is love, obviously.
Yeah.
And I know that what you really mean is that you love me, Tim, and I get it. Pandering, never
Pandas?
old.
I love pandas.
Is there?
Actually, that's not true.
I hate
kinda-
snakes. I tell you that much.
I kind of hate pandas
Okay, why do you kind of hate pandas?
because they're self-righteous bullshit creatures. Dude, all they do is sit around and eat bamboo, and they complain that the bamboo's not good enough. And then everybody just wants the pandas to bang and have little baby pandas, but then they're like, I don't want to. So finally, like once every 20 years, they have a baby, and everybody's like, oh my God, a panda baby. Why don't the pandas just have babies? Have more babies. Eat the freaking bamboo you're given. Shut up. I know you're cute. I get it, but you're not that cute. And then, here's the thing, dude. You go to the zoo, which I would love to go to the zoo, but I don't think it's open right now. You go to the zoo, and you got to wait like 2 hours to see the fucking pandas. You know what? I'm going to go pay attention to like the tigers or the llamas or something else. Polar bears. The polar bears are fun. I feel bad for the polar bears, dude. They don't belong in San Diego.
They don't belong in San Diego. I want to give a new shout out to our nearest and dearest sponsor here, the San Diego Zoo. Always the San Diego Zoo.
Oh, no,
Tim's favorite.
I do love the San
baby,
Diego
you
Zoo.
can't bag on pandas and then turn it around and say you're the second zoo.
Dude, I was a zoo season pass holder forever. I'm gonna do it again.
Stop humbly bragging on this podcast,
But no, I love the zoo. I just don't like the pandas. I don't want to wait 2 hours to see a panda.
No one wants to wait 2 hours of anything to see
fucking
nothing.
panda.
Okay,
it's like a black and white bear.
It's like a black and white bear, or it's a rodent actually, isn't it? It's like a black and white. Anyway, regardless. Okay, regardless. Look, but what is that? Does that hate inspire you to do anything? No.
Yeah,
so you should honestly learn how to just love it.
pandas.
Okay, no, Tim. We're sponsored by PETA now. PETA, just your other sponsor. Man, I'm telling you, we can't keep a sponsor anymore.
No. All the hate does is just fester in my heart.
Okay.
And it just makes me an angry person, and it's a lot to hold on to. Is it worth it? No. I don't need to hate the pandas. I should love the pandas.
Yeah, you should love most things, honestly, because life is too short. There's the
By
argument.
the way, segue. If you like animals, there is a lovely, lovely show. I was a huge Steve Irwin fan when he was around. He built the Australia Zoo. He bought it when I think it was nothing, and they built it into like this amazing thing. And they now have a show. I don't know what network it's on. I watched it at my mom and dad's house. And it's called Crikey, It's the Irwins, and it's all about his kids and his wife, Bindi and Robert.
Okay.
And they're now like they're kind of taking over the zoo.
Yeah.
But it's so cool because they highlight all the different animals, and it seems like a super cool zoo. Like, you don't just get to go look at animals through like freaking chain link fence. Like, you get to go hang out with the animals.
That's
like,
awesome,
because they have these, and it seems more like the Wild Animal Park where like the animals have huge enclosures. It's
and they get to roam around.
There's no zoo feel to it whatsoever. Nice. And they rescue a lot of these animals, and they nurse them back to health, and then the ones that can get released do get released. But anyways, kind of a cool show.
Sounds cool.
And they're delightful people, I must say.
Oh, it sounds great.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome, man. One, you know about the Australian Zoo from here.
I don't really hate
California.
pandas, but that's my little rant about pandas.
Okay.
But what do you hate, Steve?
Well, I don't know, man. At this point, I would say this. There's a lot of stuff I hate. There's a lot of stuff I don't like. There's a lot of stuff I don't naturally wish or want.
I mean, I hate traffic. You hate snakes. I don't like snakes.
I really, really do hate snakes.
I hate spiders.
There's something about them that I just don't. When I look at them, even when people have here. Perfect example. I don't like the Arizona Diamondbacks. Why? Is it because they're the Arizona? No, it has nothing to do with that. Their hat has a little D on it, or at least their alternate hat has a D in the shape of a snake. Ugh. And they name themselves after a snake. Can't stand it. And you know what the craziest part is?
We're in an interesting place because there's only one poisonous snake where we live.
Black King Cobra.
Yeah, that's it, Steve.
I don't know, actually.
Dude, the rattlesnake is the only poisonous snake in California, and I think Arizona too.
I'm good. I don't need to know that.
Well, no, but I mean, like, dude, if you're in like Florida or like anywhere in the Southeast, you got like water moccasins and copperheads and eastern diamondbacks and some other snakes and some other snakes.
Those
and
are
coral
pit vipers.
snakes and all sorts of crazy stuff. Like we got, it's like if it don't rattle, it's not going to kill you.
I'm good. Ugh. Although I will tell you this much, there's a gopher problem, and I hate gophers, especially in my
but
yard.
Gopher snakes eat gophers.
Yeah, but then that's my only problem. Do I introduce a gopher snake into my yard, and then all of a sudden, what happens if it's just like, then all of a sudden they get real crazy, repopulating all sorts of who's what's it now?
I don't think snakes have a ton of babies, bro.
How do you explain Florida?
Well, there's a lot of snakes in Florida.
They lay a bunch of eggs.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Every single one of them eggs becomes like a baby or a real snake.
See, gopher snakes are like indigenous to here. Like the python thing in Florida was weird because they were totally invasive. Like they're not from there.
Ugh, good.
Like you would just be introducing a snake that lives here anyways.
You know what's so crazy is every single time since the genus, the origin of this like podcast, our whole thing was to inspire, man. But here we are talking about hate, man.
Why are we talking about hate?
Well, honestly, here's my idea. And bam-o, slammo. Here's kind of the focus.
Well, I think we were going to introduce a problem and then try to fix it.
Well, what problem do we have, though, baby boy? Look at us.
Hate. Hate is a problem.
Yeah, right.
Hate is a sickness. It's an illness.
That is true.
And you know what? It goes back to our forgiveness episode.
Ooh. Talk to me about that.
Well, I think the reason that, you got to go back and listen to our forgiveness episode. It's probably an episode that we should have like a forgiveness redux or something like that, because it's one of the most important things you can do is forgive others and forgive yourself, because again, just any feelings of resentment or like wanting revenge or anything you're holding on to that's negative, it's fucking poison. And it's not good for anybody. And the reason you should forgive other people, not because they necessarily deserve forgiveness, but because by allowing them to have that power over you where you're continuing to be angry at them, you're continuing to let them control you. You need to forgive them so that you can move past it and be done with it.
Break that bond.
Break the bond. Break that control. Cut the chains.
Yep.
Use a freaking, pick the lock or use a freaking bolt cutters. Just get rid of that shit.
Isn't the crazy thing, man, is that somebody can have control, like hate even can have control over you because you're so obsessed with like either feeling down and under or you're so passionate about getting even.
Right. But then that entire time you're consumed with that other person. So they still have control over you. Yeah. And you're it's just negative feelings, man. And we've talked about so much how. So yeah, I think that's the forgiveness part. And then you got to forgive yourself for whatever you're angry at yourself about, because that's just going to end poorly as well.
True that.
You got to move on.
You know what the crazy part is?
The chains of negativity and hatred.
Yeah. The second inflection about hate though is that simply this. If you hate something, right? You hate
There's
being.
a lot of things I hate. I hate traffic.
No. But look at this though too, right? Hate can inspire though, right? Obviously, I'm not talking about the 1960s civil rights movement, even though we could talk about that and how all that hatred kind of inspired unity out of all that, right? But look at this though. Think about you hate being in a situation, man. Maybe you hate being underappreciated, undervalued. Maybe you hate being poor. Maybe you're down on your luck. Maybe you have a few less dollars, right? Yeah. What can hate in that situation do, right?
That's true.
It can motivate. It can motivate, right? That's the genus of motivation, right? Oh, shoots. I really, really hate feeling this way like I do right now. I really, really hate being overweight. I really, really hate not being able to...
Okay, I'm with you there.
Yeah, I mean, see, so check this out. So you're saying you hate being alone and you want to like make room for more friends in your life? Well, then what do you got to do to make that change? You know what I mean? Because clearly what you're doing isn't working.
Then you got to go to yoga class at the park on 9 a.m. on a Saturday.
That's also... that could be it, though, too. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing in the world is just like it inspires you to change things up, or maybe it motivates you to kind of do something differently or look at the world differently. If you really, really just don't like something that much to where you're honestly the last word of the extreme side is hate, right?
Yeah.
So ideally, say you could be on the other side. Man, I really, really love working out now. I really, really love getting up in the morning. I could never get up in the morning before 12 p.m. 12 noon. Well, I hate feeling like most of my day's gone.
And you could fake it till you make it and pretend you love it.
Yeah, that's how you're gonna have to do it some days. Okay. Gosh, honestly, this is such a huge topic for me because honestly, when I was kind of driving down, I had talked to you about this. I was driving back down. Yeah, you had
this idea when you were driving.
I was driving back down to Santa Barbara, and here's what the thing is. I was feeling.
What made you think of hate while you were driving?
Well, no, because honestly, my family's going through such a unique time, right? And COVID kind of separated us all. You know, there's like a lot of other impinging things, whether that be misinformation or information being given to certain members of my family, and et cetera. So it's been really, really tough, right?
Fake news.
Yeah. It's been really, really tough. And so you're like, okay, and people are buying into certain beliefs. People are buying into certain things that lay opposite of what I think, feel, and understand, right? So my whole deal was this, is that, hey, I hated how there was so much misinterpretation. I hated how there was so much mislabeling. And I hated how, honestly, there was a lot of alienation within, even in my own family about, hey, well, I don't think we shouldn't do this because one of your other family members said that. It's frustrating, right? That frustration over time leads to just kind of the degradation of bonds. And then after that, it just leads to like, what am I doing? I hate this. I hate this feeling.
Yeah, no, I could see that.
And so I talked to you, and then I always love going back up to home to Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
But when we were driving back down, I was like, man, I'm really starting to hate this drive. Because honestly, it's just every 3 weeks, I feel like I'm just even more exhausted. Like remember we go on a beautiful, wonderful next vacation. Sometimes it's really, really great to come back and have that one day off to kind of relax before you go back to work. Yeah. Or else you're just exhausted and then you go right back into an exhausting situation. Mm-hmm. And so I started hating that. I started hating that feeling of, man, I'm always just fucking working all the time. If I'm not mentally working, then I'm manually working up there.
I'm with you there. Like when I go anywhere, I like to come back and have an entire day before I have to go back to work. Because, yeah, dude, like, I know this sounds like first world problems, I know, but like going somewhere.
My vacation was too rough.
My vacation was so rough. I need a day. Like, I need a vacation from my vacation. But it's true, though. Like, sometimes I need a day to just chill.
Yeah. Yeah. It is kind of unique and it's crazy in that sense, you know, and it's not a first world problem. I'm not trying to address, hey, like, this is my biggest first world issue. But what I am trying to say is that there are certain things that kind of get to me, right? More so than not. And how do I change that around? How do I make that better? Right? Instead of falling apart on the inside, instead of that claiming me What I can do, though, is I can use that as personal motivation and honestly try to make changes here. Now, maybe you guys are listening. You guys are saying, well, dude, hate is such an extreme word.
I think there's a lot of angles to this too.
Yep.
Like there's if we're talking about a person or something, there's the forgiveness aspect to it, and that's important. I think perception and taking stock in what you have is another thing. You know, if you're like, oh, I hate that, I hate traffic. Well, you know what? There's lots of people who don't even have the ability to have a car and drive.
Right.
You know,
so you can certainly have an appreciation.
So
for
a lot
something.
of the things we hate, you know, I think you have to take a step back and be like, well, like I hate that, you know, the sale at Nordstrom, whatever it is, like, you know, there's people who hate the fact that they haven't, you know, eaten food in 2 weeks, and they, you know, so I think there's a little bit of a perception angle to it as well.
Sure.
And then there's another one, you know, and then the other one is like you said, if it's something you hate that you can use that to fuel change for the better, I think that's another one, and that's a good one.
Can I ask you something? Like, you know, you played sports, man, and I will tell you that some of the most influential people in my life thus far have been athletes, right?
Yeah.
When you talk about athletes, like high school athlete in which you were,
Like Michael Jordan influences how you treat women.
Well, no, I don't think so. 'Cause I don't,
Your idols for relationships are Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and
oh no,
I'm just kidding, dude.
No, those Tiger Woods is certainly not it. I don't know about Michael Jordan and all this stuff. I know.
Oh, when it comes to women, he's just a notorious scumbag.
Sure. But when I think
Still one of my favorite basketball players of all time.
and
though.
maybe one of your favorite baseball players, because I know he played for.
I was about
for
to say
Maryland
that,
team.
and that he did, and it wasn't bad, you know.
I guess. But I think one of the things is that you can certainly say, hey, I dislike something so much that I don't want to get it to that hate level. Maybe even that level of dislike kind of motivates you to be different, right? But one thing is with like those professional athletes is that they hated losing so much that it would inspire them to just work harder, right?
Yeah.
Go back at that gym even harder, go back in their little process and make sure that they triple, quadruple checked everything, right? Making sure they did all their free throws, layups, etc. And so for you, us average individuals who have average jobs, not like those kind of supreme jobs where honestly, and I would say this, maybe your livelihood does not depend on maybe one mistake. Like you miss a shot in a final game or something like that in a championship game. Maybe your career is dependent on it.
No, but if you were sent the wrong email to the wrong person,
That's true, especially
said
now.
something
Especially
stupid,
now.
like we'd be done.
No, it's true, especially now.
Yeah.
Especially now if you said something in regard, you know, degrading men or women or certain types of races.
Yeah,
people,
or like
absolutely.
if someone overheard, you know, me on the phone saying, "Hello, Steven."
Those are just. I guess one of the things is that you know, how do you kind of hone in this level of change, this level of want of change, without having to go to the extremes, right? You know, I don't always want it to be a win or loss, or I'm going to lose my job every single time to make motivational change, right?
Yeah.
And so I guess the challenge from me to you or from you to me is how do you make changes without it getting to that drastic last-ditch effort, straw over the camel's back kind of effort?
Well, I mean, I think I've
stage.
been at the point where work is everything. I think now I try to, you know, work within the parameters of the time and a healthy level of balance within my life that I make my work the best work that it can be. But I think, you know, ever since we started this podcast, maybe a little bit before that, but right around that time, I mean, for me, it's been more searching for balance than anything.
No, I'll give you that. I totally give you
Because,
that.
you know, part of there was the weight loss thing, but the other thing that spurred this podcast was me being unemployed because I got canned for some stupid reason from an organization that I had worked for
Ages.
8+ years, and then I got thrown out with the bathwater for some stupid mistake that other people made.
See, the hardest part in the world, right, is that you would have gladly made smaller changes along the way, obviously, to not have lost that. Whether or not, you know, it was God's will that you needed to move on from that job, et cetera.
Sure.
But you would have gladly made smaller changes along the way, right? But I never wanted to get to, for you and for me and for all the listeners here, I would never wanted to get to a point where, you know, I'm broke. I hate being broke. Why am I broke? Because I don't have a job because I lost my job. You know what I mean? That's why I need to make.
And I was angry.
That's why I need to go back to school.
Well, and I was
although that
angry at
my
the
case.
situation and that company for a long time. And
Sure.
it wasn't until I just let it go and I moved on that I was able to actually move on to something better.
Sure.
But I had to let that go. I had to let go of the hate.
Sure.
I had to, quote unquote, forgive them. Not because they deserved it. They're still, you know, the people who were a party to that are a bunch of scumbags. And that's going to catch. And I have to trust that that's going to catch up with them eventually. And I just have to be the bigger person. Just be like, you know what? I'm going to go do me.
Yeah.
Because that's all I can do.
Yeah.
You can't control someone who wronged you. You can try to learn from it and maybe not let it happen again. But ultimately, you have to forgive and move on.
I would say
Hate in your heart is poison.
that's true. the basis of this podcast has always been to inspire and to uplift.
Yeah.
And one of our biggest things, even talking about a negative subject, how do you take a negative subject and turn it into a positive? Reframe it in your mind, just like I did, right? And I can certainly be mad at my family. Everyone's always mad at their family. And if you're not right now, you will be. Just give it maybe even to the end of the day. Right? But one of the also bigger things is, hey, instead of having, just because something in your life is negative right now, because it's real shitty, because it's dumpy, because you're down in the dumps, because you don't have enough money, because you don't have the education, because you don't have the degrees, the paperwork on the wall that says you're qualified for this. Don't use that as a damnation on you, right?
This episode is like a gateway drug to so many other things that I
hope
want to talk
so.
about.
I hope so. Don't use that as a damnation on you, though, right? Flip that coin. Inspire yourself to look at it from a different angle and say, hey.
Use it as motivation.
Use it as motivation. Hey.
It's like, dude, The Rock. He was like, there was one time when he got cut from the CFL team. I don't remember what team it was. And his famous quote is like,
was it the BC Lions?
It might have been. I'm not sure. But anyways, he said he was standing there waiting for the bus, and he goes, all I knew is I was broke. I had $7 in my pocket. I was broke as hell, and someday soon I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
And that was how he framed it. And that's how we all have to look at it. And look at him. And the coolest thing about him is that he's a guy who he's never rested on his work, like how hard he works. I mean, that's, I think, what makes
works
him,
even harder.
He
all
works
the
even
time.
harder. Yeah. Cause he's always doing it. And I think, yeah, you got to do a couple things. You got to take whatever you hate or you're angry about and try to turn it into motivation. If, also it's, you can't, depending on what you're angry at or what you hate, you have to let that go to move on a lot of the time. Now, if you're angry about your situation, then yeah, use that as fuel. But the thing that you're angry at the person you're angry at, you have to let that go.
Sometimes, and I will say this, even speaking from my own kind of personal background, it's hard to let stuff go. I get it. If you're listening, I get it. I know. I've been trying to heal. I've been trying to get over this. I've been trying to get over my jealousy, my anger, my rage, my envy. I get it. I totally get it. I'm the person that knows it the most out of us two. I think you'd be like, oh, Steven holds the most resentment, grudges, all this negativity stuff sometimes longer than anybody else should.
Yeah, but I spent my whole life doing that, dude.
Yeah. And honestly, you're still alive. You're still healthy. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm so much happier and better. And I still go back to that place often, but I don't like it anymore. I try not to stay there. I mean, and again, dude, this goes back to our whole episode about, are you living in the house of pain and fear, or are you living in the house of faith? And not faith in God necessarily, but faith in yourself, faith in your abilities to do whatever it is that you want to do. If you're angry about being poor, you could sit and cry about it, or you can do something about it. Have faith in yourself that you can do it. Have faith in your family that they'll support you, or your friends that they'll support you. So many episodes.
So many episodes you want to do.
Gateway episode.
Gateway. Hey, man, biggest thing in the world is that I hate not being on this podcast every week, because honestly, this is very, very good. It's almost like therapy for me, because you get to talk and you get to openly express some values, opinions, beliefs, thoughts. And maybe these thoughts engage another individual who's listening to this, be like, wow, what an idiot. Oh, I hate this guy. Let me go and write a letter to projectxreclamation@gmail.com. Or hit these boys up on podbelly.com. And honestly, I'm willing to listen to any kind of feedback that you guys give. But at the same time, one of the bigger things is that
all the emails I get just say we want more Steve.
Yeah. Oh, they're talking about Stevie Nicks. They're talking about Stevie Nicks. They can't wait till she.
And the landslide will bring me down.
They want to have her on, so they don't have to listen to this.
No.
Take this love, take it down. Oh, if you climb a mountain and you turn around, if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, where the landslide will bring you down.
Man, your acapella is just wonderful. It's just wonderful.
Oh, man.
No, but either which way, I wanted to say, hey, man, I do love doing this podcast with you. I hate that I haven't been so consistent all the time, and I do love our listeners, and I hate how I kind of disappoint them when I'm not on this thing. But at the same time, that motivates me to call me out and be honest and judge and judge myself and say, hey, if I gotta be here, if this is something I want to do, you gotta put up, man. You gotta put up. You gotta put up what you
Put up or shut up.
Put up or shut up, man.
Yeah, that's right, Steven.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh man, I hate that we're gonna end this episode soon, but
I think that's all we got. Like, just if you have the hate in your heart, let it out.
Let it out.
Forgive those you're angry at. Forgive those you hate. Forgive the things you hate. Use the situations you hate to inspire you to do better. And also, if you hate a lot of things, maybe take a little stock and think about how bad you really have it.
But Project Reclamation, I hate everything. Oh, well, hold on there, sir, man.
Well, then I think there's
Hold
a different... Okay, Steve, now address that. What do you say to someone who hates
Hold on,
everything?
sir, ma'am.
Now you just doubled the time of this podcast. It's going to take a half an hour for this.
I'm going to invite you, sir, ma'am, to think about a few things.
Okay.
If you hate so much stuff, what I'm going to invite you to think about is why is it that what gets your mojo going about the certain topics? Are there any commonalities? And should there be, could I invite you to think about turning it around? Maybe, obviously, you're so passionate about one thing in one way that leads me to believe that you could be passionate about it to that degree in the complete opposite way as well. Okay, I've never hated anything. I've never liked anything. I've never loved anything. Well,
I'm very indifferent to everything.
I'm very indifferent. I'm very vanilla to everything.
I'm very aloof.
You're going to be a level 5
what's
for
his
the rest
name
of
with
your
the
life.
sunglasses from that 70s show. I just don't care about anything, one way or another.
Danny Masterson's got called out again here on this podcast.
Oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't talk about him.
No.
Isn't he like a child rapist or something?
Oh, is he? Oh,
I don't know.
Oh,
Some weird him and
I can't keep up anymore, man.
I can't either, dude. Everyone's been Me Too'd, but you never know though. Like if it's like a situation where the person, if it's like a Harvey Weinstein situation where like, yeah, that guy's a scumbag, or if it's one of these like Chris Hardwick situations where they didn't like, it's just an angry ex-girlfriend who's just like just throwing mud at the wall.
Oh, okay.
As I understand it, he didn't actually do anything wrong. But anyways, I try not to get into it. I try to treat everyone with respect, except for Steve and myself. So Steve, back to your story.
No
What do you tell the
self-respect.
person? What do you tell the person who doesn't hate anything but doesn't like anything?
I would just say, hey, that's
Try
great.
to find a passion.
No. Because honestly, if you live at a level 5 your whole life, assuming you're on a 1 to 10 scale, 1 being bad, 10 being the best, right?
Instead of Steve, who just goes from 2 to 8.
I go to 2 to 8 all the time. It's a roller coaster lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything's as high as the highs, but certainly the lows are the lows
No,
are
yeah.
worse, right? But one thing I would say is that there is balance to that, right? And you should only be so happy, or people
Yeah.
should only be so jealous of you because you do have that balance. But for other people who kind of bite that or battle that up and down roller coaster, not in a
Beyonce?
bipolar, no, but
Is
like
that singer chick?
no, but who need that balance?
Yeah. Balance.
Yeah,
I thought it was
yeah.
pronounced Balance.
No, but the people that need that balance, boy, I mean, that could be the hardest thing, man, because a lot of people have so many gifts, right? But balance in their lives may never be one of them.
Yeah, it's true.
And so, count your stars on the gifts that you have. Know that, you battle with something somebody else may not. That doesn't mean that you're off, you have it way worse than that other individual, but at the same time, I would always say for that person who's level 5 all throughout.
You know who
count your
kind of
blessings.
seems to live at a 5 is that Alex Honnold guy, the free solo dude.
I don't know who that is.
You never seen the free solo dude? You heard him on Rogan, maybe?
Oh.
He's the guy who climbed El Cap, free solo. They made that whole fucking movie, Free
okay.
Solo. Yeah, dude. Like he's like everybody's like his brain just works differently like than most people because they were like he's like, well, no, if he doesn't like, yeah, he gets excited when he does stuff, but I mean like he literally climbed El Capitan with no like safety gear, no nothing, no ropes, no, like he was a half a second away from dying the whole time, but he like just maintains everything where he's like, no, if I'm really excited or whatever, then that means I'm doing something wrong. I just keep it chill. And it's just like the dude is just so chill about everything. It's crazy.
Damn.
I would be like freaking out. Well, then I'd probably die. I guess you kind of have to keep it chill if you want to live through that. But that's just his thing. Like if he's not, it's almost like to be at a 5, he has to be like on the edge of death.
Damn. See,
But he's not like a thrill seeker necessarily. He is, but he's, anyways. If you haven't seen Free Solo, it's a very interesting watch. I recommend it. He's also listening to him on Joe Rogan. It's pretty interesting.
Sounds good.
Apparently, Rogan's moving over to Spotify now. I think
Yeah.
next week.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy.
Fast.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, that's all I got.
That's all we got.
Hit us up, projectxreclamation@gmail.com. We still have a bunch of El Yucateco stuff to give out. So go on Instagram, hit up El Yucateco, follow them, say something to them, and mention Project Reclamation Podcast and mention Podbelly, please. And if you mention us and hashtag Project Reclamation, I will find that. I will see that. Just hit us up, tag us, and I will send you something in the mail if you win. That's it. That's all I got. So thanks to Podbelly Podcast Network, and thanks to El Yucateco Hot Sauce.
El
That's
Yucateco,
it.
king of flavor.
We will leave you with that. If there's hate in your heart, let it out. Go be happy, people. Peace out.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.